Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. April 28th is celebrated as World Day for Safety and Health at Work. This impacts of climate change on occupational safety and health. Climate change is already having serious impacts on planetary health, human health, and the world of work. As this problem intensifies, workers around the globe find themselves at an increased risk of exposure to hazards such as excessive heat, ultraviolet radiation, extreme weather events, air pollution, vector-borne diseases, and agrochemicals. Numerous health conditions are linked to climate change, including cancer, cardiovascular diseases, respiratory illnesses, and mental health disorders. Promoting, respecting, and realizing the fundamental principle and right at work of a safe and healthy working environment also means addressing dangerous climate change impacts that workplace mainstream occupational safety and health OSH into climate policies and integrating climate concerns into OSH practices. It's crucial and critical. Legislation may need reevaluation or new regulations as climate hazards evolve. Collaboration between governments and social partners is vital for climate change mitigation and adaptation policies. The time to act is now. On the occasion of World Day for Safety and Health at Work 2024, the ILO, International Labour Organization, has launched a new report titled Ensuring Safety and Health at Work in a Changing Climate, which reveals alarming new data on the impact of climate change on the workers' safety and health. Background: in 2003, the International Labour Organization (ILO) began to observe World Day in order to stress the prevention of accidents and diseases at work, capitalizing on the ILO's traditional strengths of tripartism and social dialogue. This celebration is an integral part of the global strategy or occupational safety and health of the ILO, as documented in the conclusions of the International Labour Conference in June 2000. One of the main pillars of the global strategy is advocacy. The World Day for Safety and Health at Work is a significant tool to raise awareness of how to make work safe and healthy, and of the need to raise political profile of occupational safety and health. So 28th April is also the International Commemoration Day for dead and injured workers organized worldwide by the trade union movement since 1996. Prevention of occupational accidents and diseases, the annual World Day for Safety and Health at Work on 28th April promotes the prevention of occupational accidents and diseases globally. It is an awareness raising campaign intended to focus international attention in the magnitude of the problem on how promoting and creating a safety and health cultures can help reduce the number of work related deaths and injuries. Each of us is responsible for stopping deaths and injuries on the job. As the governments, we are responsible for providing the infrastructure, laws, and services necessary to ensure that workers remain employable and that enterprises flourish. This includes the development of a national policy and program and a system of inspection to enforce compliance with occupational safety and health legislation and policy. As employers, we are responsible for ensuring that the working and environment is safe and healthy. As workers, we are responsible to work safely and to protect ourselves and not to endanger others, to know our rights and to participate in the implementation of preventive measures. So, new and emerging occupational risks may be caused by technical innovation or by social or organizational change, such as new technologies and production processes, nanotechnology, biotechnology, new working conditions, higher workloads, work intensification from downloading, poor conditions associated with the migration for work, jobs in the informal economy, emerging forms of employment, self-employment, outsourcing, temporary contracts. They may be more widely recognized through better scientific understanding the effects of ergonomic risks on musical skeletal disorders. They may be influenced by changes in the perceptions about the importance of certain risk factors, the factors of psychological, psychosocial factors on work related stress. The International Labour Organization is the United Nations agency for the world of work. It sets international labor standards, promotes the right of work, and encourages decent employment opportunities, the enhancement of social protection, and the strengthening of dialogue on work-related issues. In ILO Declaration on Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work, adopted in 1998 and amended in 2022, is an expression of commitment by governments, employers, and workers' organizations to uphold basic human values, values that are vital to our social and economic lives.
2023 was the warmest year on record. Climate change is changing everything. It is causing deaths, injuries, and diseases for workers everywhere. Climate change is leading to excessive heat, extreme weather, UV radiation, air pollution, and an alarming increase in certain diseases. These are just some of the dangers that are threatening the health and safety of workers and putting their jobs at risk. 2.4 billion workers are exposed to excessive heat at work every single year. And the total number has gone up over 35% over the last 2 decades. Our most recent data shows that over 26.2 million people are living with chronic kidney disease related to workplace heat stress. Excessive heat kills around 19,000 workers and injures around 23 million workers every year. UV radiation is impacting even more workers, around 1.6 billion, and killing 19,000 per year due to skin cancer. In addition, these 1.6 billion outdoor workers may be exposed to air pollution too, resulting in some 860,000 work-related deaths. Outdoor workers are also vulnerable to vector-borne diseases, which kill around 15,000 workers every year. Climate change is leading to an increase in the use of agrochemicals, putting the over 900 million agricultural workers worldwide at risk of exposure. Every year, 300,000 die of pesticide poisoning. Each of these climate-related hazards represents a threat in and within itself, but they are also uniquely interlinked and may result in a cocktail of hazards. The cumulative effect may pose an unprecedented threat to humanity, and we do not have the full picture of the real impact yet. This highlights the multidimensional challenge that lies before us. Climate change is a health issue. It is a workplace issue. It is also a social justice issue. But above all, it is a human rights issue. It needs to top the list of our global priorities. Going forward, workers and workplaces must be at the center of climate change action. Heat action plans must prioritize workers' safety and health, and legislation on occupational safety and health needs to mainstream climate change hazards as a matter of urgency. We are in a sprint to save lives, and the time to act is now.
Today is also commemorated as Day of Trees in Colombia, which is observed on April 29th every year, and the Colombians celebrate the holiday by planting the trees. Celebrated as Arbor Day in countries around the world, this tradition stretches back hundreds of years to 1594 in the Spanish village of Monedo, Mondenado. This village was site of first documented arbor plantation festival in the history. The first instance of the modern tradition of Arbor Day also has happened in Spain. The small village of Villanova de la Siria in 1805. This initially Spanish tradition soon began spreading across the globe. The first Arbor Day in the United States, for example, was held in Lincoln, Nebraska on April 10, 1872. During an annual meeting of the Nebraska State Board of Agriculture, on their very day, more than 1 million trees were planted in the state. Arbor Day soon spread to such other countries as Japan, Canada, Australia, and Colombia. Celebrated rather as Day of Trees in Colombo, this day is special to Colombians because of the country's acute environmental issues. More than 50 countries across the globe now celebrate Arbor Day with a mission to combat deforestation and the resulting climate change. The Arbor Day Foundation has organized and helped streamline, improve, and encourage the observance of Arbor Day for more than half a century now. Formed in 1972, the ADF works year-round to help the mission of planting trees across the world. It has collaborated with organizations to help maintain biodiversity in cities, counter deforestation, and help damaged trees recover. Individuals, communities, and organizations looking to further this cause can join the ADF in its mission through its membership programs, fundraisers, and community tree recovery plans. The option to donate to the organization is available year-round, not just on or around Arbor Day. So the first Arbor Plantation Festival is recorded in the history, is celebrated in the Spanish village of Mondenaro in 1594. The first modern Arbor Day is celebrated in the Spain in 1805, and Arbor Day is celebrated in Lincoln, Nebraska in US in 1872. The ADF Foundation or Arbor Day Foundation is founded in 1972, which in short is known as ADF. Arbor translates as tree. So Arbor means tree. So Arbor Day means tree day. There are two different days with two different purposes, as you may not get confused. Earth Day is different and Arbor Day is different. So as we have already mentioned, Spain celebrates the first Arbor Day, and the core purpose of this day is to encourage people to plant trees. What better way to celebrate than to plant a seed or a sapling? Arbor Day has a fascinating history going as far back as 16th century. Spend a portion of your day immersed in it. If you can, donate to the Arbor Day Foundation to help its cause. Funds donated to the ADF are invested in various tree planting efforts. The longest lifespan in living organisms, trees don't die of old age. There are moon trees, which are trees grown from the seeds that were taken to the moon and back. Trees grown from the top. Trees can communicate and defend themselves against attacking insects. A banana tree is generally the only tree that has no wood in it. Trees are essential to our planet's biodiversity. So Day of Trees is therefore essential to conservation of biodiversity. Day of Trees highlights the adverse effects of deforestation. The more people aware of the dangers of deforestation, the lesser they will engage in it. Regardless of how resolute a single individual is, community action makes for a greater impact. This is especially true for tree planting. Today is also commemorated as International Dance Day on April 29. So it's a time for us or for you to put your dancing shoes on and get ready to step out. As dancing is universal and it improves health woven into virtually every society all over the world, humans simply love dance and it brings us together, whether we are once on the dance floor or watching the professional performance of others, or dancing is exhilarating and impressive. Let's honor the world of dance today together. And no matter how well you dance or what kind of dance you perform, it's always good to perform at least some steps, do some steps, even if you are not a dancer. Lindy pop, jitterbug, freestyle, tango, ballet, and more. The art of grooving and swaying our bodies is celebrated on International Dance Day on April 29. The Dance Committee of the International Theatre Institute, ITA, established 20 April 29th as International Dance Day in 1982 to highlight the amazing diversity and talent of dancers all over the globe. We have recently commemorated World Theatre Day also from the same institute, International Theatre Institute. This day was chosen because it marks the birthday of Jean-Georges Noury, who was in the period of 1727 to 1810, the creator of modern ballet. The International Theatre Institute created this day to promote dance across the world, to make people aware of the value of dance, and to enable the dance community to promote their work on a broad scale. The hope is for governments and opinion leaders to become increasingly aware of the value and importance of dance in all its forms and support. On the top of all, International Dance Day was created for us to just enjoy dance for what it is and share the joy with others. Every year, the ITA selects an exemplary choreographer or dancer to write the official day's message. Their website lists the location of their annual gala as well as other advertised events worldwide. Evidence of dance has been found dating back 9,000 years, and it has grown into a worldwide phenomenon. This day encourages people to celebrate their favorite type of dance while also learning new styles. There are dance styles for people of all ages and rhythm capabilities, so there's no excuse for you not to get involved. The only tradition strongly observed on International Dance Day is dancing, dancing, and more dancing. It's probably the one day you can break into dancing in the middle of the street, like in the movies, and not to be called out for it. The whole vibe of the day is letting loose and moving to the best of your favorite music. Dancing parties and dancing competitions are, of course, very popular today, so everyone can feel like they are in a step up movie. People with serious dance skills take over the dance floor, and some even demonstrate unique dance sequences that are no longer trendy or from different cultures. Dance studios have great membership offers, which people regularly or eagerly take advantage of. Who knows? You may be the better next Patrick Swayze. So the number of people employed in the dance industry in the UK itself is around 30,000 people. The number of dance companies in the UK is more than 200. The percentage of professional dancers who have suffered one major injury during their career is more than 80%. The cost of the most expensive ballet slippers is $4,000 US. The number of pairs of shoes one ballerina wears per week is 2 to 3 pairs. The average age most professional dancers retire due to strenuous physical demand is 30s. The percentage of all dancers who become dance teachers following a career-ending injury is more than 93%. The earnings per week of a Michael Flatley, the world's highest paid dancer, is $1.8 million US. The number of people who gathered at a fair in Ohio to the chicken dance in 1996 is 72,000. So the highest number of Foetes swift turns on the foot performed by ballerina Pierina Legnani for the Swan Lake is 32. So dancing is an art and is celebrated on the International Dance Day. Every year, the dancers and the dancing communities in the world celebrate this day. In 1982, the Dance Committee of the ITA founded International Dance Day to be celebrated every year on the 29th April, the birthday of Jean Georges Novery, creator of the modern ballet. Ballet is a dance name. It is a kind of dance. There is no problem in the world that cannot be beaten by dancing it away. International Dance Day preserves the art of dancing and celebrates its positive impact on our lives. Have you ever tried tango? Or how about Zambian dance? Or how about Lindy Hop? Or even if you like, these are Western, you can also try Indian, Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, and so many dance art forms are available, which are very famous across the world. So you can try one. Maybe you aren't really a big dancer, but don't worry. Beginner classes are very forgiving. Regardless of your skill level, today is your day to broaden your horizons. Try a dance style and you never tried before. See a show, dance performances often feature beautiful costumes, bright colors, and amazing sets. The highest grossing Broadway show, Lion King, has been seen by over 100 million people since it began in 1997. Even if you cannot see a show in person today, visit the International Theatre Institute's website for videos featuring a variety of dance styles from around the world. So, children, encourage young dancers. Children can begin dance lessons at a very young age. Those who enjoy it and stick with it reap many benefits, such as improved physical fitness, higher self confidence, greater ability to listen and understand instructions, and stronger determination to preserve. Encourage your children to take a chance on dance. So, ballet, often referred to as the backbone of dance, ballet focuses on techniques that require a great deal of dedication to master. Created in the 1970s, hip hop went mainstream during the 1980s with styles known as breaking, popping, and locking. Hip hop. Salsa, the signature hip moves in salsa dancing, come from the dancers stepping while keeping their upper body still and level. Bharatnatyam, the traditional South Indian dance, originated in Hindu temples and dates back to 1000 BC and more. It is usually a solo dance performed by women, expressing religious and spiritual ideas. And modern today, it is used to express the contemporary and modern ideas and scenarios as well. Dragon dance is a famous Chinese dance performed by dancers using poles to hold a long flexible dragon figure. The longer the dragon, the more luck it is believed to bring to the community. So dancing increases feelings of self-worth. A 2007 study showed that children ages 11 to 14 who took creative movement classes reported improved motivation and attitude. So boost your confidence and get your groove on. Just 5 minutes of dancing can increase your creativity. Dancers in one study showed improvement in both mood and creative problem solving. It is a brain booster. It's also a good exercise. Dancing can burn calories. Plus, you'll never get bored with your workout. Once you get the basics down, there's a whole world of options. Today is also commemorated as pocket in your pocket, poem in your pocket day, which is celebrated on 29th every year to encourage people across the US to express themselves through poetry. So this is also one of the another art forms to promote health and well-being. When the Office of Mayor in New York City, in collaboration with the city's departments of cultural affairs and education, announced their intent to deem this day Poem in Your Pocket Day, individuals are encouraged to write their own poetry, perform their own work, or create their own art inspired by poetry. The aim, of course, is to remind people of their participation in the living art of poetry. So, poetry goes back to the days before humans knew how to pen down words. The first poems are believed to have been spoken words and passed down through oral tradition. The earliest poetry exists in the form of hymns and chants. Most of the oldest surviving poetry is religious, such as prayers or stories about religious significant events. Other surviving poetry recounts historical events, instructions for activities, and even declarations of love. Historians today hold that the earliest instances of written poetry suggest the existence of older oral traditions. Poetry sprung up across the globe at several points in time. In Africa, for example, the art dates back to prehistoric times when people wrote poetry in the river valleys of the Nile and Niger, as well as the Volta River. Some of the earliest poetry in the region is from the pyramid text written as early as 25th century BC. The first ever speculative fiction poem is believed to be The Tale of Shipwrecked Sailor, which was composed in heretic around 2500 BC. And scholars believe that the Epic of Gilgamesh is the oldest composed of this kind. Aside these two, other poems counted among the oldest are Greek Iliad and Odyssey, along with the Sanskrit Mahabharata and Ramayana. Mahabharata has been considered the longest poem ever written. The nature of poetry has evolved over the years, and many structural traditions and literacy movements have come and gone. Today, poetry exists in many forms, from song lyrics to stanzas of free form, poster moon. Words aren't your preferred art form. Create some other form of art, a painting, origami, anything from an existing poem. Demonstrate your creativity. Spread the word about poem in your pocket day by talking about it on social media. You can share the poem you wrote or the art you celebrated with your network of friends. The word poetry comes from the Greek word poesis, which means making. The etymology: a holiday named after Poets' Day is celebrated every August 21st. The French essayist and poet Sully Proudhon was the first person to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Metrophobia is the fear of poetry. Pulitzer winning poet and writer Pablo Neruda wrote his poems by hand in green. So, poetry has been part of human civilizations since time immemorial. Poem in your pocket day reminds us that about special connection human feels towards poetry. Poem in your pocket day is the push we need to create and consume more poetry. Use this day to remind yourself to compose and consume. Day is also commemorated as World Wish Day, which is sponsored by Make-A-Wish Foundation, an organization that focuses on making the wishes of terminally ill children come true. It is a holiday that even children take joy in celebrating as it primarily has to do with them. Although not all wishes that are made or can be granted, you'll be surprised to know that more than 500,000 wishes have been granted by the foundation since its inception a few decades ago, and many more would be granted in the years to come. It is almost impossible to find a person without a wish. Everyone has either consciously or otherwise wished for something before. Making wishes is not restricted to any particular age and age group, as we find all people wishing for something. Children also wish for something, just as people differ in their choice, so the wishes they make. So, World Wish Day was first celebrated on April 29, 2010, which was inspired by touching story of young leukemia patient back in 1990. The first celebration of World Wish Day marked the 30th anniversary of the day of Gracious had his life wish granted. Since then, many surprising and equally fulfilling wishes have been granted by the foundation. In So finally, today we are commemorating Biological Clock Day, which is celebrated on April 28 to raise awareness about the circadian rhythm and its impact on our sleep, wake up cycle, body system, and mood. Did you know that we practiced segmented sleep in medieval times before the invention of the electric bulb reduced sleeping hours to 6 hours? The biological clock is linked with circadian rhythm, a 24-hour cycle part of our international clock that carries out essential functions and process such as regulating the sleep-wake cycle. The circadian rhythms are connected to a master clock located in the brain that sends signals to regulate activity throughout the body. This master clock is influenced by environmental cues, allowing the circadian rhythms to work based on the day and night cycle. Sleep is as much a part of the natural process as eating and breathing. So, sleep is as much as part of a natural process as eating and breathing. Since the beginning of human evolution, we have always needed sleep. As, a, as we experience changes in civilization, human sleeping patterns also change, impacted by cultural shifts, migration, and technological advancements. Our understanding of how early human sleep is limited as there is little or no historical evidence of the early hunter gatherer and agriculture societies. However, by observing hunter gatherer groups in Tanzania, Bolivia, and Namibia, researchers discovered that early humans only slept for about 6.25 hours and rarely woke up during the night. This sleeping pattern changed when the humans migrated to Europe, where they experimented longer nights and leading to segmented rest. The earliest references to the segmented sleeping pattern were in Homer's The Odyssey, dating back to about 725 BC to 675 BC in the West, and this practice continued into the Renaissance. During the period between the first and second sleep, people socialized quietly, pray, do chores, visit friends, and have sex. This sleeping pattern was most revered during the late Middle Ages and Renaissance. However, all these changed in the 19th century at the peak of Industrial Revolution. In 1839, Thomas Edison invented the incandescent light bulb, which led to more extended workdays and a permanent end to segmented rest. Business and people started prioritizing work and productivity over getting a good night's rest. This increase in working hours led to early labor movements such as 8-hour movement. In 1926, Ford adopted the 8-hour work and the 40-hour work week, which became the regulation for all businesses everywhere. Today, people are back to placing reverence on sleep because of its numerous health benefits and impact on productivity. Corporate business people are now using sleep as one of their tools to increase productivity, using periods between the meetings and business travels to get the needed help or nap. It is possible to change your biological clock, but first you need to understand your sleep-wake cycle. Set up a sleep schedule and gradually move your bedtime, exercising, avoiding alcohol and caffeine in the evening, and limiting screen time can help change your biological clock. The biological clock circadian rhythm is a 24-hour cycle affected by light or darkness. It controls our sleep wake cycle, body temperature, and hormonal production. Our biological clock is relatively accurate. If exposed entirely to darkness, it will only lose or gain a few minutes. Each person has their own internal clock that governs their body functions. Understanding your biological clock can help boost your overall health, prevent weight gain, and improve productivity. You can learn about your biological clock by observing your daily routine or taking the time signature test. The latter requires two blood tests spaced 10 to 12 hours apart. Check your local clinic if any test is available. Nowadays, we have specialization like sleep medicine. In medicine, where your sleep patterns and your sleep quality and quantity can be tested clinically, and accordingly, intervention can be provided. Sleep offers a world of benefits when given the proper priority. Pushing it down to the least important section of your schedule could lead to drastic implications for your health and relationship. Humans spend on an average of one-third of their life sleeping. According to research, many people dreamt in black and white before introduction of colored television. Within 5 minutes of waking up, we forget about 90% of what we have dreamt about. So dreams don't last generally. Losing sleep can kill you faster than food deprivation. So sleep deprivation kills faster than food deprivation. So have good sleep. According to a study, cutting down your sleeping hours can reduce your pain threshold. So lose sleep, feel more pain. So the better the sleep, the less the pain. So the biological clock, also known as circadian rhythm, helps regulate the body's process and functions such as the sleep-wake cycle, heart rate, metabolism, body temperature, and hormone levels. A disruption to the circadian rhythms can lead to weight gain, insomnia, poor mental health, and reduced productivity. According to the research, losing sleep can diminish your concentration and cognition and reduce your confidence level. Or getting enough sleep can potentially improve your problem solving skills and enhance memory performances. In fact, the corporate individuals are now taking advantage of sleep to improve their productivity at work. Sleep deprivation can lead to issues such as depression and a reduction in our ability to control emotions and behaviors. Giving sleep a priority in your day-to-day lives can help you build better, healthy relationships and improve your interaction with others. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations and celebrations. Thank you everyone for joining us. So tomorrow as part of this International Psychology Conference, we are having a session which we have missed on 24th April due to unavoidable reasons. So the same day, celebrations will be done. Same day sessions will be taken up tomorrow. And majorly we'll be focusing on mental health, acts and laws and rules and regulations, and also the clinical establishment acts which are related to set up a clinic or a therapy center or a hospital, what are basic, laws or acts that are regulating. So tomorrow, everyone do join us. We will also be sending a mail in 1 or 2 hours from now, along with the feedback link for the entire conference. So kindly fill up the feedback form. Also attend tomorrow's dedicated session on mental health laws and acts. It's a very good session, very much important for all the health professionals. And we have very good resource person with us, who is Virendra Kumarji. He will be taking us in detail about all the aspects. So let's all join together. We'll also send you a mail. You can join using the same link at the same time, 6 o'clock. And we'll be having sessions till 8 or 9 as time requires. And we can have interactive sessions after that. We can clarify your queries. And then we shall conclude it. So tomorrow. So kindly inform all your friends who would like to get awareness regarding to those who are in medical health or allied health field to join us to get awareness on legal aspects or which are influencing their profession. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form in the Zoom platform. Just a second. The feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time at 6 o'clock with the same joining link. Take care. Good night.